All right, what's going on? This is the King Cam Ujumbe Podcast. Ujumbe means messaging. Yes, we are here. This is a Sunday afternoon. Normally we do this thing Sunday night, but we got the Khemetic Nation in the building. Today we're going to talk about Kush and Kemet, unearthing the Southern connection with Khemetic Nation. Look, I'm excited about this one. Get you something to write on, something to write with, because I would like to first of all welcome you back to another episode with one of the most profound groups, most profound organizations on the, you know what I'm saying, in a while. And so we often hear about ancient Kemet as if it rose out of nowhere, as if it came out of nowhere, but the deeper truth is the roots of Kemet came from the south into Kush, Nubia, and even Ethiopia. So lands of mighty queens, divine kings, and sacred wisdom. This southern connection is more than, say, politics. It's more than just information sharing. This is a dynasty. Okay. This is a spiritual foundation that shaped Kemetic civilization itself. So this is part two. Yeah. So sit back, relax, get you something right on, something right with. We're back with the Khemetic Nation. They're going to unlock some things. You see what I'm saying? They're going to unlock a few Kemetic science, and they're going to get into the esoteric and everything. So they're going to peel back some layers of Nile Valley wisdom and culture, from the role of the Kushite pharaohs to Kandekis, to the cosmic meaning of sacred symbols. I ain't gonna tell you what the symbols are. I ain't gonna tell you what the symbols are. So, but I got them. I got them. Hit the like button. Greet everybody as you come in. Shout out to little goddess that came in. One Voice Africa, our very own elder Yahya Shabaka. Check him out. Check his channel out. He is thorough. You understand? Look. He gets into the spiritual knowledge of it. Me, I just tell you, African history from a physical standpoint. He goes with it, and I'm grateful that he is here. Shout out to the fam. So yeah, let's get to it. Last time we talked about the science of Maat. If you have not seen that, episode, check it out after this. But so today, I have a few questions for the Khemetic Nation. Are there any new books? And how do temple alignments and architecture reveal Southern African influence in Kemet? And what is Isfet? We hear about Ma'at all the time, but what is Isfet? And what is the science of the Ankh, and much more? All right. So, yeah, today we're going to talk about some new books. We're going to talk about the Kush and the southern root of Kemet, sacred geography and cosmology, symbols of the power of life, transmission of wisdom, suppression and misconceptions, modern application and empowerment. So, get this. This Khemetic Nation is our special guest, and let me see if I can bring them on. Let me see. We got. All right, we got Brother Swave in the building. What's going on?
What's
All
going
right,
on, bro?
yeah, the Khemetic Nation here, and then we got. Let me see, Brother Tahuti. Yeah. All right, we like to welcome.
Greetings, everyone.
Yeah, we like to
Greetings,
welcome.
family.
Like to welcome you guys back. Let's get to it. Before, why would we say? Well, first of all, before we get to all the questions and everything, tell the people a little bit more about you. Tell the fam where you from, and things like that. I know you guys wrote 1,000,000 books. I know that.
Yeah,
Got like 1,000 books. You know what I'm saying? Do it. You know.
we got a little work done. No, I'm Seba Sway Santoro from Wilmington, North Carolina, from the Gullah Corridor. We've got not 1,000,000 books. Not 1,000,000 books. Don't listen to everything Cam said. Nah, no, we got I believe it was, what was it, about 3 months ago when we did our class with you.
Yeah.
Since we did our last class with you, Tahuti has, I think he's about 80 to 90% done with his book.
Wow.
Since we talked to you, we've got we released the Lapis Tablets that came out June the 15th. That is a 365-page book.
Wow.
Translating the scriptures of the original first Bible, the Syriac Peshitta, from the year 150 CE. what we did is we took the Old and New Testament of the original Bible and retranslated it so everybody could get familiar with the original scriptures as well as the original Orthodox Christian language. And we also did the Egyptian parallels to the book. So it's a full. It's not a regular book. It's pretty much like the more you know. It's a study. It's more or less a study guide than a regular book because of the information it holds. So we just had 2 classes on it last Sunday and the Sunday before, and this Sunday here we're gonna have our 3rd class on it. Okay. But that book came out. We were already done with it by the time we had talked to you. Then we were just editing some things to actually, it was already finished. But since then, I've got 7 more books coming out for you. Yeah. And 6 of those are done. The 7th one I'm finishing up now. And we also finally created our own language. Wow. I'll talk to you.
All right. So we got brother Suede in the building. Now we got Tahuti, brother Tahuti. Now you didn't say anything about that book you putting together. See.
Well, yeah, man. It should be out in if not in January or February.
Okay.
It's called The Sacred Marriage. It is the marriage of Tahuti and Maat. Everybody talks about the principles of Tahuti and they speak on the laws of Maat, but they don't realize that these are consorts. These cosmic concepts existed long before we became conscious. And this intricate marriage between the two. I mean, truth is married to mentalism. You know what I'm saying? And you know, gender, you know what I'm saying, is married to balance and harmony. You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with principles and then aspect of the law, you know, it has its own power within it. And I put in different techniques to achieve some of these concepts within yourself.
Okay.
So it's going to be an interesting treatise, man. It's going to be interesting.
I can't wait to hear about that. You know, so because of course last time, because we talked about the southern connection between Kush and Kemet a little bit, but we last time we explored the foundation. Take us a little bit further south. How does Nubia's legacy shape the spiritual sciences we later see expressed in Kemet as well as in the West?
Well, Nubia, first of all, the actual geographical location of Nubia, and this is not our definition, but the definition that they gave us, the actual people over there, Nubia is from southern Egypt, Aswan area, all the way down to the Congo Basin. Nubia is not just Sudan. Yeah. Now, the actual connection that we have and that we have documented, that we teach about on a weekly and a regular basis, the ancient Egyptians that we teach about, these people came from Tanzania.
Wow. Came from where? Hold on.
Came from... I'm about to shake the table today. I'm shaking the table today. I'm shaking the table today, Cam. Because these people came from Tanzania, and the documentation we have behind that nobody has taught about, that I know of outside of the Khemetic Nation so far, has been the link between the ancient Egyptians and the people of Tanzania who brought in what's called the lithic Aldewan tools. This is the first master stone industry that we have in prehistoric time, and this starts in Tanzania. Wow. So the human evidence that they found in Northern Africa, in Eastern Africa, is all coming from these people rooted out of Tanzania. And these are found in Algeria, 2.4 million BCE, in Egypt, 2.3 million BCE. Okay, it's found all the way in Russia, 2.25 million BCE by way of Tanzania. Found in Georgia next to Russia, 1.8 million BCE. This is all over. And all of this is starting directly from the south.
Yeah, because people think I'm crazy when I quote Dr. Ben and say we came from the foothills of the mountains of the moon.
Yes, sir.
But not heavy dwells.
Yeah, and I have that book right there on my bookshelf too.
Man, look,
we revere Dr. Ben. We revere Dr. Ben on this side.
We do.
Plays no games.
That book is what, maybe 500 pages. Don't got a lot of pictures in it. Got small text, and it's got more information than the internet can provide. I promise you.
Yeah,
I promise you. So off of even going off of what we found in Tanzania, when you go to the ancient pharaoh DNA. That they found, the pharaoh's DNA is linked to Uganda.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on.
I'm shaking the table today. I'm shaking the table today, Cam.
So now you dealing with check at the joke. You dealing with check at the jokes work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sheikh
Good.
Anta Diop is the reason that we have all of our information today, and we're able to say it as confidently as we can, because ever since the 1970s, things have been kind of looking kind of crazy for the other side, because we've got raw information that they can't deny now. Because
these Dr. Ben and so many others did this. They went like Anthony Browder and many others. They went out there and did the field work and came back with the information.
That's right. That's right.
So
we have people, and those are our master teachers, our grand masters, and they took their own money and risked their lives.
Yeah,
for
they
us
did.
to have this information.
Yeah, and for some people for those who don't understand, our elders made out of risk their lives physically, like getting in front of, facing danger per se. But a lot of our elders financially were struggling. They was poor righteous teachers for real. They got fired from their institutions and everything because they were telling the truth. And so, and of course, Baba Yake, he said they call this region Ta-Necher. Yeah.
The land of the Necheru.
The land, that land itself has been debated for some odd reason. It's been debated on the exact location, but at the end of the day, that location is southern Ethiopia, Uganda area.
Yeah. And I'm just really amazed at how many people try to ignore that. They keep forgetting that the Nile River moves from the south up to the north. They forget that wherever your cows and chickens going, you going.
That's right.
That's right. Migration. It's funny how they set the Great Migration would have come down to the south, to the north back in the 30s and 40s, as if nobody else migrated like that.
Right. And the thing is Egypt itself, literally on a literal basis, everything that Egypt has comes from the south. When we were talking about dynastic Egypt, more important for us to start with pre-dynastic before we get into that. The pre-dynastic, one of the first documented pre-dynastic stages that we have, that we teach about at Khemetic Nation more than any, is what's called Badarian culture. And that's from 4400 to about 4000 BCE in Egypt. And what was found in this part of Egypt is the most important, because this is what we talked about in the More You Know book, when we discovered that there was a German scientist named Hermann Juncker who gave us the information saying that the graves that were found in Badarian culture belonged to the Twa and Buti. And these people were in Egypt by way of Ethiopia, by way of the Congo Basin. And this is documented from him.
And what nationality was that scientist that said all these things?
German.
Okay. All right.
German.
Okay.
Yeah, German.
Because they swear for God that, if we say anything, it's Afrocentric, but when they say something, it's factual.
Well,
it's weird how they do that.
I've always looked at the term Afrocentric as a prejudice and racist terminology. Because you have to look at the people who are giving this title.
Yeah, same. It's up there with woke.
Exactly. It's the exact same thing.
It's indigenous erasure on all forefronts when they use the word Afrocentric, because unfortunately we have a narrative that we are supposed to believe that these people are Greeks, these people are Macedonians. And we're only supposed to look at the Ptolemy era of Egypt to get anything as far as right and exact information, and that's just not the case. That's just not the case. because I asked people over and over and over, and we talked about the scholars of Greece, of Europe. Like I said, where exactly did they get their information from? Because I know for a fact that Socrates came back and forth to Kemet.
He did.
So, and that's their golden child right there.
Yeah. No. They golden. They boy is Plato.
Oh yeah, and Plato. We can't forget Plato. We can't forget Plato.
Yes, they won.
Plato.
Because if I mention Herodotus, I'm wrong. If I mention Herodotus,
well, I'm gonna steal to Hootie's saying when we talk about Herodotus. At the end of the day, Herodotus wrote everything down, but did he lie about what he saw? Yes or no?
I got that from Dr. Clark. Dr. Clark's debate. He said, you can say a great many things about Herodotus, but can you say he was blind?
Right. And then, but they'll swear to God, they'll say, the black skin, it was symbolic. It was deep, it was symbolic.
Yeah,
nah, bro. This person gave an eyewitness because y'all love to use primary sources. If we're historians, we use primary sources, and this primary source who saw the ancient Kemetic people, he said that they were black. Matter of fact, they look black like the Ethiopians.
That's right. Those are his
and
exact
if you
words.
ask me, the bust that you see of Socrates, he looks very, very aboriginal to me.
Okay.
He looks like an aboriginal from Australia. Okay. He don't look like Macedonian. No,
Mesopotamian.
No, he don't look like he's from those islands up that way. He don't look like that.
Yeah. And so that
wide nose and big lips.
And that's another reason why he was able to slide through them go through that priesthood information like that. He was able to kind of put two and two together. He was able to kind of blend in like that.
That's that Minoan DNA coming out.
Yeah, shout out to the fam. I think the fam is talking. I'm loving every piece of it too. Shout out to Judami. What's going on? Soul's in it now, fam. If you are into if you're into shopping, Soul Zena, she likes to shop. That's her channel. You see what I'm saying? So check it out. And much love to Baba Yakia. He's in the mix. And Miss Blue is here. And Brother Ferguson, the thing is, Brother Ferguson likes to he likes to say he's here before I check roll. No, sir. That's not how it goes. I check. Do you know how this goes? I check roll at the end. But I'm really grateful that the fam is here. I'm really grateful. But yeah, shout out to Khemetic Nation is here. But now, so we kind of dealt with that a little bit. But now dealing with the monuments. Before we get to the monuments, hold on. Now, you mentioned the more you know.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
You mentioned the more you know. Now, I know we're going to deal with transmission of information now a little bit later, but fam, brother Sway, he wrote this book, The More You Know. Can you kind of give us a little synopsis on The More You Know real quick?
Yeah, no problem, man. The More You Know, that's book number 9. We pretty much went prehistoric. We went from roughly the beginning of time to modern time when it comes to European history and information and the actual birth and creation of Europe, all the way up into the time of Moorish exile in 1492.
Wow, so it goes from the beginning all the way up into the 1400s. So that's so that, if you could say that's like, history 101 kind of part 1.
Right. Okay. Because we don't have, just like you were just talking about, Plato and Socrates, et cetera. That's all we have as far as, European history. We don't have anything before that on a mainstream level, on an academia level.
You're right.
So what we did is we went back all the way to, I don't even remember where we started. Then we went back all the way to about 200 BCE, all the way to 1492.
Yeah.
So exactly.
That's good.
Who was in Europe? Yeah.
And then now, of course, Little Goddess mentions says The More You Know is an in-depth look into ancient Europe and Mediterranean before and during the reign of 3 Abrahamic religions, with emphasis on Italy, Spain, and Greece. Okay, thank you. For those who need to know, they emphasize Italy, Spain, and Greece. They lean into that. So, but now here's another one. This is new. This is new.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Lapis Tablets. Now I'm letting Brother Tahuti off the hook because he ain't done with his book yet. But however, this right here.
Yeah,
fam, this is a new book by our brother. Now I'm gonna tell you this before he cooks about this book. The Khemetic Nation is the reason why I published my book. You see what I'm saying? They put my feet to the fire. I said, look. So shout out to the Khemetic Nation who got 1,000 million books. And I'm gonna get my
thanks.
And I do want to let you know I will be going to purchase your book next week too, bro.
Oh man, but yeah, they inspired me to put pen to paper. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you got to make time. But yeah, shout out to the Khemetic Nation for inspiring me to do that. But now, what is this magnum opus? What is this great work that you have here? The Lapis Tablets. What is this? What is this, fam? What is this?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, appreciate you.
This one here, boss.
This one here, I can write in a pretty decent amount of time, and that's been proven before. This book right here took me a little bit over a year to put together, man.
Wow.
Because of the content that's in it and the information that's in it. Because like I said, we went back to what I wanted to do was I wanted to have everybody to have a clear view on religion and Christianity, because we talk about it and we teach about it a lot, but nobody's able to really actually walk you step by step with all of this to really get you to the finish line. So what I did is we took the oldest Bible, the oldest complete Bible, which is the Syriac Peshitta, written in Syriac, the Old and New Testament, and we translated it. It's a 5-part book. It's pretty much 5 books in one. It's 5 tablets in one. So the first tablet is called the language tablet, and we cover exactly what Syriac is and the history of Syriac, and we give the breakdown of the grammar and the letters and whatnot. Then we go into tablet 2, which is the tablet of Moses, the tablet 3, the tablet of Abraham, tablet 4, the tablet of Jesus, and then tablet 5 is called the prophecy tablet. We go all the way in depth in the Bible with the language. We break down some of the Hebrew, break down the mistranslations with the Greek. And also towards the back of the book, we also dive into some of the Ethiopian Ge'ez from the Ethiopian Bible to give the full translation of everything.
Wow.
So it was this one took me the longest. This one it took me the longest. The content that's in it, like I said, it's gonna take us a couple years to fully actually get through fully to say, okay, we understand it now. So this one's done. I'm really proud of it. This is probably, so far from what I've done, it's probably my favorite work that I put out so far. The more you know is it, but then when I got done with this one right here, probably
it's always something else, right?
yeah. And I've gotten a good response on it the past couple of months since it's been out, man. I'm really happy with it, man. I'm really happy with it. So our people, they'll be speaking multiple languages once this book is done, because this book not only translates the scriptures for you, but it's an actual language book that actually teaches you the language.
Wait a minute. So it's a language that's involved too, not just information.
Yeah,
right. It's a breakdown. It's a breakdown of the information and the scriptures, both in Syriac.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
the reason why I'm going so hard on this is because Syriac is the original Christian language. Yeah. So a lot of people don't know, because you taught about the Moors a lot, and me and you had a lot of conversations about the Moors and the Moorish Empire. But what a lot of people don't know is when these Moors, became Moors in the early 7th century, this is the language that they were speaking. because from the border of Egypt all the way to China, Syriac was the lingua franca from the 2nd century all the way up till the early 10th century CE.
Okay. And of course, little goddess, she chimed in. She gonna get an A for today. She beating y'all today. She said the Lapis Tablets is an in-depth book into ancient Egyptian culture, Christian culture, and religious tradition in the old world, continuing to dive into science of the hidden space of Christianity. The next important question is this, though: where can we find this book? Now, I added the links in the description or whatever, but because they encouraged me to sell the book on Amazon.
Yeah, the best promotion you can have on the planet right now, man.
Yeah. Okay, so you can find it on Amazon. I do have the information, the description, and everything. But yeah, these brothers are taking this scholarship seriously. We have to put things just like our ancestors put things in stone. We got to put pen to paper. We got to make that happen. And so yeah, check that book out. The Lapis Tablets. He's doing a teaching. I think understand that they're doing it on Discord. So check the Khemetic Nation out on Discord, and so check them out. But that it's very important that we get into this though. Yeah, I thought I was playing. So yeah, you know what we're here for, y'all. Y'all know what we're here for. We're here for the information, right? Yeah, enough of all that. So check this out. The Nile itself was never just a river, it was a living map, right? Flowing from the south to the north. It mirrored the journey from the soul from the hidden source to the place of manifestation. Temples across Kush and Kemet weren't built random. They were aligned with the stars, the solstice, and it is our brother Sway's birthday, and he landed on the fall equinox.
Yeah,
touchdown. Right. So they're aligned with the stars. They're aligned with time and cycles, and these alignments reminds us of African civilizations that didn't separate heaven from earth. They built heaven onto the earth. You see what I'm saying? So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about sacred geometry and cosmology? What do you guys think about that? What do you guys say about that?
Well, there was it's like God has said in the chat, with the Lapis Tablets being the continuation of hidden space of Christianity. That was the first book we did pretty much on astrology, per se. And if you open the beginning of the book, you'll see that we have pictures of certain pyramids and certain star constellations, showing you the exact correlation between them. This is no coincidence or mistake behind any of this. We pretty much built all this stuff because at the end of the day, us having Google GPS is not new. This is our Google GPS in prehistoric time right here, in order to pretty much find our way back home. All of the Pyramid of Giza plateau, the base construction ratio, numerical system is the exact same number as the speed of light. Those same pyramids are lined up all over through Sudan and Egypt, are lined up to the Milky Way, are lined up to Andromeda. They're lined up to Canis Major. So, and these are all mathematical equations that we figured out 10, 15, 20,000 years ago, which gives me a higher credence to say that we actually are devolving modern time right now, because there's no way that we were on such a higher science in the time when we were being labeled primitive.
Wow. And then shout out to Baba Yakya. He had a lesson yesterday concerning Sirius C and the different NASA has identified different they call them comets, but Baba saying now they're not comets. They're actually coming from a destination, and they're very intentional with their movements. And he also says the Morse spoke Amazigh and Quranic Arabic. But yeah, check out Baba Yakya. He's breaking down Sirius A, B, and C, Sigitolo, and so he's really awesome on that. And yeah, we made some great strides forward, but then all of a sudden we're starting to move backwards, and we got to get back to that. We
do.
Yeah. So so what are some some overlooked concepts when it comes down to temple building? What are some things that are overlooked? What do you think? There's some things that are overlooked in our era.
I think that's what's being overlooked the most is that a lot of these pyramids actually have signatures on it, so we can't lie about who built it. Let's start there.
Wait a minute.
Let's start there.
Wait, because this is what they told me. They said it wasn't nothing written. There was nothing there.
Well, for those people that will tell you that, you have to tell them to prove that, because Mdu Neter, the language of Egypt itself, goes back 16,000 BCE recorded.
Yeah.
So we have an 18,000-year-old language and we weren't using it. That makes sense.
You say we all of a sudden we just didn't say words.
Yeah, we were just mumbling around the desert.
No, ain't no way, boy.
Yeah. And this is the narrative that they'll try to push to you and try to push to the youth, to the children, man. Because these outside people don't have the science or the identity.
Yeah, so in other words, when they go and seek after that information and they're looking to get an insight on that knowledge, some of our people saying it's none of your business.
Exactly. Because you have to understand, we have a certain dialect and we have a certain mathematics that only we use. We have our commoner language and we have our high priest language in Kemet. Everybody's not supposed to know this. Everybody's not supposed to know certain sciences. So we can't just let everybody into the information and say that it's sacred. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and then
everything that they have in this time is literally a replication of what we had when we were done with everything.
Yeah.
Because when we talked about the actual invasion of the Asiatic between the Hicks, I mean, we were pretty much already done in Kemet.
Yeah. Matter of fact, like I tell people all the time, because why I would quote that is because Dr. Ben and Dr. John Henry Clark said this a lot. By the time Greece and Rome got to Kemet, Kemet was already old in a sense. Already, that was the reason why they was able to.
It was already old into the sense that now we have updated it, because now we finished the book. We have updated information now from the archaeologists and the scientists saying that the Osirian temple. I'm about to shake the table today. The Assyrian temple, the temple of Seti,
and Abydos,
was not built in the 19th dynasty. It's 12,000 years old.
Yep. And y'all heard me say that. Y'all heard me talk about the temple of Abydos quite a few times. And there's a tomb of Osiris there, and that's pre-dynastic.
That's right.
So, tens of millennia.
So King Cam ain't crazy.
Everything we have, you have to understand, bro. Everything that we have that's already done and set, it's before they even popped on the planet. And this is why we have so many narratives. This is why we have so many Egyptologists going into restore the glyphs and restore the walls, lightening up the skin, changing things around. This is why we have all of this now, because we have an insecure people who don't have a history that got their entire lineage, language, culture, architecture all from us. Stolen. There you go. Right there. That's a hidden gem right there. You got King Cam.
Hold on. Yeah, that is. I've got that on my shelf too.
For those who don't know,
that on my shelf. Yeah,
we've been throwing out books. If you ever want to know where to start, Stolen Legacy is one.
Yes.
The Black Man of the Nile and his family is another. And you can't go wrong. But yeah, we that's another reason why my podcast is going further south. I ain't got time to be arguing with somebody that look like a Mexican about Kemet.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And we can't continue to have all of these all of these wrong academia articles coming out saying that these people are from the Lebanon. All of the ancient Egypt, like I said in the beginning of this, all of the pharaohs' DNA that they tested roots back to Uganda. Uganda is not Syria. That's not Turkey. That's not Iraq. Okay. But to prove that this is not them, this is why, like I said, this is another reason why we did the Lapis Tablet book. We deal with, because in that book there, we deal with the origin of Semitic language, which is their start off with everything.
Yeah.
But come to find out, the origin of your Semitic language, and we talked about the Hebrew and the Syriac and the Arabic, the origin of it is Sudan, Napatic that birthed Imdu-Neter in Egypt. Oh, yeah, I'm shaking the table today. I'm shaking the table today.
Hold on.
Oh, no,
now, I'm learning something else. I'm learning something
about the gun line.
So, it's on the gun line.
Shaking the table today, Cam.
So the Mesopotamian language, because somebody swear to God that Sumer is a little older than Kemet. I didn't throw the Kushite card. I didn't hit him with the Kushite card, but you saying that a lot of their language came from Sudan.
I'm saying that all of their language came from Sudan. That's what I'm saying.
I stand corrected.
All of it. All of it. All of it.
Man.
Even the Egyptian, like, all comes from Sudan, bro. Everything is rooted out in the paddock. Every last bit of it. Yeah. Every last bit of it.
Yeah, we talked about Napata. We talked about that. And the thing is, what people don't realize is that we had a discussion about the Scorpion Kings and Narmer. They came in fully equipped with culture. They came in with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They already had it. And not to mention that for him to unite all 40 plus gnomes, he had some power, because there was almost every gnome represented a different tribe. There was a C group over here, the Magi over there. They was all over there. And for him to unite that, and they had a similar language. And the language is 10,000 plus years. You guys are saying 16,000. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the documented mark of when we talked about the Tehanu Confederacy.
Yeah,
right there, of having the entire unification of Eastern Africa, not just in Upper Egypt or Lower Egypt, but all of East Africa down back going to Tanzania.
All the way. And for those who are in geography class, Tanzania is closer to South Africa than it is to Egypt.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's Kenya. That's Burundi. That's down there.
And that's these people. This is when we have to, and unfortunately, in today's time, we don't have a lot of people discussing it. This is where we have to start discussing necking, both necking the place and necking the people.
Yeah,
in Egypt, because these are the people that are creating this civilization from Tanzania all the way up into Egypt, going all the way to Europe, going all the way into the Middle East. These are the same.
Not to mention the Batwa.
Well, see, that's the thing. These are, when you said the Batwa, we give in Khemetic Nation, we did our research and our digging, and we give them their sovereign Egyptian name, which is called the Deneg. Talk about the Twan Buti, because we don't use the word pygmy. That's a derogatory term.
It is.
A derogatory European title. We don't use exonyms, so we go by what the Kemites actually called them in their language. And for that translation, it just means short stature or dwarf when they use the word Deneg. Now, in order for people to understand the South connection that you're saying, when you go back into, I believe it's the 6th dynasty, Pharaoh Pepi V instructed to go back to Ta-Neter to bring him a dwarf magician back to the land.
These are facts. Yeah.
So that's why I said earlier in the show, we don't have to have a debate on exactly where Ta-Neter is at. This is the land between where southern Ethiopia and Uganda are laying in the south.
Yeah.
Where these people come from. And the way that you'll be able to find this is when you go into to start digging into haplogroups. You'll find haplogroup was called it's the title of haplogroup L2.
Wait a minute. Now you talking about genetics, and you know they get cross-eyed when you talk about that genetics.
Oh no, hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's
they
okay.
Get all in their feelings when you.
Yeah. I mean, we don't do feelings. We only do documentation. We only do documentation. So when you research L2 haplogroup, you're gonna see that human affinity goes to around 62 to 64%. I'm sorry, 62 to 64% Twan Buti DNA. That's what these people are, and this is what we found when we talked about the graves in Ethiopia and the graves in Kemet of the Darwin culture.
And Baba is asking, what about the EM series in genetics? What about that?
EM, that's more or less when we talked about the Egyptian DNA and we talked about the Pharaoh DNA a second ago. When we talk about E1B1A and E1B1B, they'll give them the subclade title of E-M2.
So, and for the people in the back that's probably lurking and not really paying attention good, most of the pharaohs, their genetics came from the south. It did not come from the Mediterranean. It didn't come from Europe, and it didn't come from Mesopotamia. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that their genetics came through their mother. That's how they got kingship.
That's exactly how they got the kingship.
And
that DNA that we reported about, that was taken from Queen Tai's lineage.
Yep. King Tut's granny.
That's true that these people came from the south.
Yeah.
That's in the 18th dynasty. We're not going all the way back. We're going in the 18th. We know that Asiatics are there in Egypt and certain people are mixed, and they're still saying, no, these people come from the south. They're not an Asiatic people.
Yeah, these folks, and what they'll do, they'll dig up a Greek person that so happened to die in Egypt and say, "Hey, he's an Egyptian." No, that's not
right.
No, George Washington is out there in Mount Vermont somewhere, and he's not. He may be here, but he's not indigenous to the land.
Exactly.
He's not from here.
He's not from. I'm about to say.
He's not from here.
Yeah, they're not like us.
Not like us.
They're not like us.
Not like us.
Man. And so, but now, we're going to get into the Khemetic science now. We're going to deal with the symbols and powers of life. Little goddesses mentioned the haplogroup L2 is human mitochondrial DNA, haplogroup with a widespread and modern distribution, particularly sub-equatorial Africa.
Right.
And but we're going to deal with. We talked about a little bit. We talked about Kush, the southern ruler Kemet. Sacred geography and cosmology, symbols, and we're gonna get into the symbols and power and life. All right, and the transmission of wisdom. But we're gonna get into the Khemetic science of it. Now, people know about Maat. Just briefly, hold on. Briefly, what is Maat? Because I got something else.
Briefly, I'm just gonna break it down. We're not going to talk about the 42 confessions. We're just going to talk about the 9 core laws of Maat. All right. Okay. There's truth, justice, reciprocity, balance, harmony, order, morality, righteousness, and love. Okay. When we say love, we're not talking about Roman antics or that version of Western Asian love. We're talking about the perfect love that creates. The love of creation that created you and I. You know what I'm saying? That type of love. You know, what makes an egg split from 1 single to 2, then to 4, then to 6. See what I'm saying? That's love.
Yeah.
Feel me? So those are the precepts of Maat. Those are the laws.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you guys want to know more about that, we did have a discussion last time. So check out that episode when we're done with this. But little goddess mentioned, it says Maat is an ancient Egyptian concept embodying truth, justice, balance, order, harmony, law, morality, and cosmic order. But here's the question for today: what is Isfet? Hold on. Before I'll let y'all think about that, because we know what this is. But what is this? All right. Before we get into that, I got a question.
All questions.
I got a question. So for the fam, all right, would you rather study in Alexandria or Timbuktu? Like and comment below. All right. And before we get into this, let me know, guys. What would you rather go to? You're able to translate everything. Okay. The translation is not the problem. Okay. So would you rather be an Alexandria hangout? Matter of fact, you're the master librarian. So which one? You had the library card. You had it. Which one?
I'll go with Alexandria.
Okay.
Because
I was
I'm going
about
to
to
be
say the
getting
same thing.
all of the original manuscripts.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing's going to be mistranslated or tainted with in the way certain things are. So it'll be everything that they took into Timbuktu be there in Alexandria.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah. And guys, you can also comment. Also, y'all can like and comment also in the chat. Alexandria or Timbuktu. There's no right or wrong here. There's no right or wrong. All right. But yeah, Alexandria or Timbuktu. Now, let's get to it. Khemetic knowledge. What is Isfet? What is Isfet?
This is Tahuti's bread and butter right here. I'm
yeah.
Well,
everything I learned about this, I learned from this man right here. So fall back.
Well, I mean, Isfet is my aunt's twin sister. A mirror image. It is the exact opposite. You know what I'm saying? Of truth. What is the opposite of truth? But the lie. What is the opposite of harmony? Just harmony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is the opposite of balance? Chaos.
Imbalance. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So this is her absolute opposite. You know what I'm saying? This is her twin sister.
Wow.
So she would influence and bring people to APEP, to that worship of Harishaf. You know what I'm saying? The worship of disagreeables. You know what I mean? And not the agreeables. You know what I'm saying? So it would be that. That's what Isfet ultimately brings about imbalance. You know what I'm saying? Disorder, disharmony. You know, everything that's on the opposite scale. You know what I'm saying? Hatred, fear is the strongest tool that is used. False evidence appearing real. The fictions. You know what I'm saying? Everything that is presented to us in fictional into a fictional vision. You know what I mean? Those things that are brought to you to make you afraid. You know, those things that are brought to you to make you angry, hate.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You're acting in Isfet. Isfet is not. See, we look at these as beings. These are signatures. These are vibrations. These are frequencies. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ma'at is a frequency. You have Ma'at is more of a verb, and if it you have to perform these things, you have to tell a lie.
Yeah.
The lie doesn't exist until you tell it. This harmony doesn't exist until you disturb the waters.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just like with Ma'at, it's a verb. You have to tell the truth. You have to enact justice. You have to enact the concept of harmony, balance, and order. These are things that you have to do, bring into your life, or it's going to be brought to you. And it's usually going to be brought through Isfet because you're not practicing the truth. So you're gonna get lied to. You're gonna get, you know what I'm saying, stolen from, all the disagreeable things that we see happen. That's Isfet.
Yeah. All right. And little guys mentioned says Isfet, meaning injustice, chaos, violence, as a verb to do evil, is an ancient Egyptian term from Egyptian mythology used in philosophy, which was built on a religious background, I guess. Also, Isfet was a counter to Ma'at, like you guys said, which was order. Isfet did not have a physical form. Rather, it was believed that Isfet was personified in the form of a pet. And that's the reason why when I looked up Isfet, this is what I found. Seriously, this is what I found. It was Epep. Okay.
This is where the story of the serpent, the devil being the serpent in the Bible comes from. Comes from Apep.
Yep.
So now we talked about the Jed. We talked a little bit about the Jed, which means stability and a little bit of electromagnetism. But we got that video already. But now the Wasp scepter. What is that? What is the wasp scepter?
So Hootie, tell him about the gun line, boss.
Oh man, man. All right, we're about to throw the switch. All right,
Here we go.
so when we're talking about the wasp scepter, it means power, right? That's his translation. It means power. And the reason why is you had a setup with the Jed, the Ankh, and you used the wasp to throw the switch to turn on the power.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? That's why wasp means power. Jed means stability, and Ankh means life, because you're utilizing the Ankh to bring forth life by throwing the switch with the wasp.
That's right.
Very simple. I mean, it's we were high scientists, man. This is not about beliefs or gods and goddesses. No. This was strictly science.
Yeah.
Strictly.
So the Jed was stability, wasp was power. Now, here it is. What is the science of the Ankh? And anybody can jump in, even in the chat. Anybody can jump in. What is the science of the Ankh, y'all? A-N-K-H, the Ankh. What is that?
You got it too, Hootie.
I was waiting on to see if anybody was going to answer before me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
I was see what the chat was going to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Ankh, of course, is its surface. That's the symbol of life and everything. That it has the male and female parts, and also what I've learned as of recently, it does have something to do with electromagnetism and everything. But that's as far as that's all I know.
I don't know. I don't even know if we want to even go deeper to show people that the Ankh is the first remote control. I don't even know if we want to go that deep with it.
Here you go. Yeah.
I don't even know if we'll have enough time to even break all that down. But yeah, this is what we find out through our teacher Nur Ankh Amun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ankh. That's
extraterrestrial knowledge and extraterrestrial information. Now we're finding out we were actually able to summon these people using the Ankh.
Yeah. And Haas TV says Ankh is a communication device. I learned in the book, in that same book, that it did emit some kind of light in dark spaces.
Yes.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is all of the above.
Yeah.
It's all of the above. It's life, living, lived. You know what I'm saying? Every version of the word life is the Ankh. The Ankh itself is a power tool. You know what I mean? It's an oscillator, basically. It's an oscillator. You know what I mean? And you can utilize the Ankh along with the Jed to store the energy from the Ankh, and you would use the wasp to release that energy.
Wow.
You throw the switch. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as you see in that picture right there, that's lapis, by the way.
Lapis. Okay.
That's lapis. That's lapis, by the way. That's a stone that we use for energetic purposes. And as you see, the wasp scepter and the Jed pillar along with the Ankh. You know what I'm saying? Ankh, wasp, Jed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Life, power, stability.
Life, power, stability.
But it's more than a catchphrase. But you want the energy stay. It's a battery. You know what I'm saying? It is the battery. We store the energy. You want to keep that energy stable. You use the wasp to release that energy, and the Ankh loops it and keeps it looped. You know what I'm saying? It oscillates at certain frequencies. If you're using a golden Ankh, it oscillates at a certain frequency. Copper oscillates at a different frequency. Silver oscillates at a different frequency. It depends on the job that you have to do and utilization of the Ankh. We used to have what they call an antechamber where we would get in and to prolong the life. It was in the shape of an Ankh.
That's right.
And it was made out of gold and acacia wood, just like the what you would call the Ark of the Covenant.
What?
Yeah, like what you see here.
I take a break, and then y'all throw in that.
Look, what I mean, look what you see here. Okay, this image that you have here. That's a smaller version.
Class for a minute and come back.
Hey man, that's how it happens.
Hey man, and it's baked this way. The base of it is acacia wood, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you inlay it with gold and outlay it with gold.
Yeah.
And then you add another layer of acacia, and then you add another layer of gold. Now you have your system is complete.
Yeah.
They power it with the jet, and you get in it, and it revitalizes your energy. It resets your cells.
So the per Ankh or the House of Life was a real thing.
Was a real thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna prove it to you. In modern times, the Dr. Wilhelm Reich, Dr. Wilhelm Reich, he was a German scientist. He was a student of Sigmund Freud. He dealt with what he called orgasmic energy. Okay, so he calls it organite. When I started looking at it and started studying it, and I was like, wait a minute, we were doing this way back in Chem. You know what I'm saying? So what he would do, he'd take plywood, overlay that plywood, interlay that plywood with steel wool, then put another piece of plywood over it, then steel wool, then plywood. And then he would sit his students in there, and it would revitalize their organs, their whole lymph node systems, all of that.
Wow.
I mean, you can look him up. As a matter of fact, he died in prison because he created this technology.
Wow,
in the United States. Yeah.
Wow.
This is back in the 50s.
Wow. You know they was going to do that. But so the question is, Sister Abida Bauntu, Story of Love and Life, said, which is older, the cross or the Ankh?
Of course, the Ankh. The Ankh is one of the first two. And the Ankh is not just a religious symbol. It is a tool. This is a tool. This was an energetic tool. This is not just something. This was utilized for probably to hold a mirror or maybe a mirror. They'll say it was to hold a mirror, but I'm thinking this was to hold the actual functional Ankh. You know what I'm saying? That they would use as a tool, and for energetic purposes. Depends on what work. Like I was explaining earlier, you went in. It depends on whether it was made out of wood, silver, gold, one of the stones like lapis. You know what I mean? Depends on what you made it out of. Is the vibrational, the vibration you're going to get from it. You know what I'm saying? Or the functionality.
Okay. So now dealing with the transmission of wisdom, I know Brother Sway mentions the Moors. Of course, wisdom just didn't. To me, I think wisdom didn't, or even information didn't freeze in time, and it just disappeared. I think it lived through oral tradition and songs and proverbs. What do you think about that? Because you touched on the Moors last time, but what do you think about the Moors being that transmitter of wisdom in our era, or more modern era, I guess?
Well, they, in my opinion, they are the holders of that wisdom, because what people don't understand is it wasn't just a small group of people out of Algeria who are these people that we call Moors to change everything. This was everybody in the entire region of Northern Africa who sit above the Congo Basin that took this language. And because of the outside influence that was already a hold of Egypt, it was easy money for these people to convert to this new religion, because they weren't up under the Greeks now. They weren't up under the Romans. They're under that type of culture is so treacherous that they would have took anything other than that. So, and to answer your student's question, I believe it was Fula earlier about the Quranic Arabic. And that time with the Moors, Arabic wasn't a language. Arabic didn't exist. The only thing that what we call Arabic today in the Quran we have today is the mixture between Syriac and Nabatean to create Arabic.
And I thought that
the book that we did called Muhammad's Wisdom, which is our first Islamic book, you'll see that 75% of that Quran is Syriac Christian hymns translated.
So what about the Demotic text in the Meta Nature? You know, when they wrote it, looked like cursive writing.
Yeah, this is where we get our Syriac.
You get Syriac.
We get our Sanskrit. This is where we get our cuneiform. This is where we get the Mandarin of the Chinese people. Everything on the outside comes from this hieratic and Demotic script. Every last bit of it.
So in your studies, how do you see the Moors as not just a physical bridge of knowledge, but a spiritual bridge? How can they be the spiritual bridge of knowledge in our era?
Well, the breakdown of actual religion, we actually have that clarity because of the Moors. What people don't understand is these people were practicing the religion harder and practicing the religion in more of a right and exact way than the people that gave it to them.
Yeah.
The Umayyad Caliphate, who were, pretty much running things in this time, they were pretty much doing their own thing because they felt like they had the position of power and they could do anything. So now I don't have to wear all white. Now I don't have to pray 5 times a day. Oh, I can have more than 4 wives because I have this position of power. But the Moors were the ones that actually went by the book and actually went by the original text and the original teachings and said, no, this is the religion we're supposed to go by. So us seeing that mirror of them going all over Africa and going all over Europe and Asia, and then also them coming into the Americas, like I said, we saw the religion, because even Christopher Columbus said they had mosque in Cuba when they came over here.
They had mosque where?
Yeah, there were mosques in Cuba that were destroyed when Columbus got over here. Because of the Moorish influence. Now, everybody, as far as what you call the Arawak or the Taino people, everybody wasn't with it. Some people converted, but overall, everybody wasn't with Islam. But Islam was so strong to the point that they had certain systems set up here in America from the relationships of them coming over here before Mansa Musa's time. Islam's been in America since the 1200s.
Yeah.
So 120, 130 years before Mansa Musa and his people come over here, we already had the Moors coming over here, establishing certain relationships with Native American people, with American Indian people. And like I said, we saw the clear vision of what religion was through them, because everyone else, that we talk about in Europe, Middle East, they were pretty much performing everything that's Isfet, and there was no type of balance of Maat or anything else on there.
And there you go. I was going to say it. You had there's your example of Isfet and Maat.
That's your prime example right there. That's your prime example. Yeah.
Oh, let's go modern times. How about the Iranians? We'll just throw them in there, and the Saudis.
Oh,
Saudi kingship down there, and how they food, cigarettes, they drink. You know what I'm saying? And you got your Iranians who are hard body. You know what I'm saying? Muslims. You know what I mean? And they don't move like the Saudis do.
Yeah, they're drinking, they're gambling, smoking, everything you can think of.
Smoking.
Haram. Everything you can think of.
Yeah. Everything is haram.
Yeah. Not following the sunnah whatsoever.
So,
and that's Isfet.
That is. But now I got a bonus. I know we talked about the Ankh, we talked about the Jed, the Wa scepter and everything. But what about the Khemetic tree of life? You guys are off the chains. I had to go and see what y'all say about that. The Khemetic tree of life.
Oh man. With that one, we call that Paut Nataru. The tree of the natural in the paddock. But we this is pretty much the origin of every story that we have in everybody's cosmology. We talk about the actual basis of life and the basis of the energy and the deities like Noon and Geb and Shu and whatnot. But when it comes to this is where we get the exact same cosmology here in America with the ancient Mayan civilization. Having the tree of life, they mirror and have the exact same story as the Egyptians. In their oral tradition and their oldest story, they talk about the twin siblings that were born from the tree, and that exact same story is with Isis and Osiris in Egypt. Wow. And in oral tradition, they were called twins in Kemet, in ancient Kemet. This is where you get the actual tree of life in the Bible, within the book of Genesis and the book of Proverbs, with the forbidden fruit and whatnot. This is the actual staple of everything right here when we talk about the tree of life. And this can even go a little bit deeper, going into, like you said, going into the South, Cam, with the baobab trees in Madagascar and Tanzania, that were the first trees that we had here, pretty much in our migratory state, in our migration period in ancient time, so where we didn't have to migrate out far, and we didn't have to worry about food or food scarcity because it holds millions of liters of water inside of the tree trunk. So that's our first actual tree of life.
Wow, the baobab tree.
The baobab tree, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And also, I would like to go on a limb and say that the baobab tree was a physical representation of what the pillars were in the temples. They had no tall trees like that. They would say papyrus and everything, but bro, ain't no way. They saw the baobab tree, or somebody told them about the baobab tree.
Yeah,
that stretched up to the heavens and everything.
Yeah, and the equivalent of that here with us in America would be the sequoia trees in California.
Yeah. So, but why is this kind of information? Why is this kind of information suppressed or distorted? Why, in your opinion, why do you think that is this kind of Kemetic knowledge from Kush and Kemet? Why has this been suppressed or distorted?
Because everything that we have information wise is all in the book of Maat, and it's all confirmation. There's no gray area. There's no hearsay. It's all confirmed. It's all confirmed with everybody in ancient time that this is right and exact information. We have, like I said before earlier, we have a lot of insecure people on the outside who don't have a story, that feel the need that they need to be heard, and that their story needs to be heard in order for them to feel real.
You answer my question. Who benefits from this distortion? yeah.
Because if we can continue to talk about what we had in pre-dynastic time and we just stay there, what do they have? What do they have to give?
Yeah.
If we say 5,000 BCE, what do they have in Greece to show?
What would you see as a practical application in modern times? You see what I'm saying? Because I've seen some people, I ain't gonna lie to you, I've seen some folk that try to bring something 5,000 years ago into this era. This is different. You see what I'm saying? But what do you see as a practical application to a lot of this Kemetic knowledge?
I say the family aspect and the communal aspect.
Family and community. Yeah.
We don't, because we didn't have the same problems per se back then that we have now, because we actually understood what community meant, understood what a common unity means between the people. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, I think we've gotten on an individualistic standpoint with everything overall. Yeah. And so now we pretty much are in a realm where nobody wants to listen to anybody.
Yeah, Isfet.
Straight up this time. There it is.
Yeah. So and I know Brother Tahuti mentioned the principles of Maat, those things that you can do every day, or you can, you do your best to do right by people every day. That's, you don't have to build a fully realized temple of Waset in your backyard. No, you can exude those ideals from day to day. Yeah.
The energy that you put out now, yeah, like I said, it's and we talk about that in the book of mine too. Like I said, how you speak, it carries on into the future. So, like I said, how you treat people, how you talk to people, like I said, that energy carries on, and other people are also able to pick up on that. Yeah.
Well, before we go, fam, do you guys have any questions for the Khemetic Nation? Because they got books. They got books. Get that. The Lapis Tablets. I put the link in the description. The Book of Maat, the Khemetic Nation. They are a library and wealth of knowledge. Get it. Get a few. If you got one, share one. That kind of thing. But yeah, they're writing, and we need to be reading and catching up. And so these are the books right here. He mentioned a few others, but the Lapis Tablets is one. The Book of Maat is the other. And this is the book I was talking about, the Ankh. I couldn't figure out what it. I got this book back in 2000.
Yes.
So being in Texas, in North Texas, it wasn't like Chicago, Detroit, or New York where everybody was coming. Everybody was coming to town and speaking. No, we're in Dallas. Nobody came down here.
Yeah.
I had to get it. I had to figure it out. So that's one. The Book of Ankh, Dark Light Consciousness. That's another good one, because dark matter is more prevalent in space than there is in than what you see. So, but the family, before we turn the guys loose, are there any questions for our brothers? Are any questions? And I got to check roll. I forgot to check roll. But Abina Bawuntu says frame for facing life lens to examine life. Yeah. These principles are good for day to day. Yeah. So, and so
practice all law will practice on you. I would just say that it's going to work whether you are working it or not. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's in action right now in your everyday waking moment.
Yeah, believe it or not, ready or not, right? So
ready or not.
Shout out to the Ujumbe members, Sister Abila Scott, Brother Mo, Brother Isu, One Voice Africa. They catch up on everything before everybody else do. They get all the videos and share, and they kind of share with the ideas, join the membership. But here I'm checking roll. All right, here it is, Khemetic Nation. If you are here,
present.
Shout out to the Khemetic Nation. Shout out to Brother Edward Moore, Kenneth Mentor, Jimmy Fungus, Nelson Sandoval, Shaku, Sadiq, Theo B, Tiarka, BWE, Shabir Khan, Sister Linda, Auntie Linda, Baba Yakya, Men Plays Freedom, Library Without Borders, Soul Zenith, and Miss Macy. If you are present, I didn't call your name because I'm lazy. Comment here. You see what I'm saying? But I'm really grateful that you guys came. But if you like the content, share it with somebody that may enjoy Khemetic information or your social media of choice. But before we turn you guys loose, what is your Ujumbe means message, and what is your message to the world, guys? What is your message to the world?
Read as much as you can.
Maat.
Study as much as you can. Isolate yourself from Isfet.
If anything we're gonna learn today, we learned about Isfet today. He said, read as much as you can, study as much as you can, and isolate yourself from Isfet. What you got, Brother Tahuti?
Know thyself. To add to what Brother Sway says, know thyself. Can't know nothing else but yourself.
Yeah.
All these things that we're discussing today has to come from inside of you. There is nothing on the outside of you. On physics is proving this. Know thyself.
Yeah. But Tahuti saying, know thyself. And so, yeah, family, this is the King Cam Ujumbe Podcast, Ujumbe means message. We talked about Kush Kemet unearthing the Southern connection with Khemetic Nation. If you want to catch up with our Khemetic Science Unveiled, I have a playlist for you. And if you want to check out the very first episode, I got that for you. But before I turn you guys loose, family, are there any other questions before we go? All right, if there are no questions, I will talk to you guys later.
For sure. For sure. Appreciate you having on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why to why?
Yeah.